Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, and a 3. Let's switch it up. Skadoosh. Next match loading. I am not muted. Let me get that out of here. Boop. All right, that's there. So I'm gonna add in a text thing at the bottom, not bottom, the top, somewhere. Let's see, text, add existing. We'll do this right here. There we are. It should be fine to be right there. That works. No? Yes? Maybe? Right about there-ish. Alright. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are doing well tonight. It has been a bit for me because I missed last week. Unfortunately, I I prioritized something else and kind of had rigs in a bind there, but thankfully there were he was able to reach out to Devlin Hart, and they were goated enough to take over streaming last week, and they were able to keep the show going. The show must go on. That's just that right there is an example of how supportive this community is to this game. You love to see it. But we are back. The show going on the main channel here. My name is Darsheen. This is Yoshi96, and welcome to another stream. We're here with some more Road to Greatness. It's the 54th iteration. We are doing our top 4 replay coverage as usual, and as the title suggests, we are hype after Worlds 2022, and we don't carry this hype alone. As usual, we are not on the casting mic by ourselves. We're joined by our friend Aberration. Give him some love.
All right, thanks for having me on again, Sheen. I appreciate always having the opportunity to jumping on, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of these matches, especially after some of the hype we got to witness at LCQ and Worlds over the last couple days.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. It's always a pleasure to have you. And like you said, the excitement for the game is anew with the fact that Worlds happened and featured Pokken Tournament for the last time, unfortunately. Which is really saddening for people that followed this game from the beginning. But we'll just call this a what would it be? How do we channel our inner anime and describe this optimistically? It's the end of a new beginning. I don't know. and
the very
go ahead.
At the very least, it kind of removes the fig leaf of the of kind of official backing. Now in a way, it's good. It kind of puts more of the onus on the community to have the grassroots events, and I think we do have at least one of those we're kind of waiting on in the next year or so.
Oh, okay. Looking forward to seeing what the community comes up with that and more. And like Riggs was saying, yeah, I'm gonna follow the RTG Twitter. I think I can actually grab that. Is it on the I don't think it's on the challenge page, but if I can pull up my own Twitter super quick, if it's not oh, you must log in first. Okay, never mind. There it be. Alright, Road RTG Global. And there we go. That was a lot easier than I expected to be. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Okay. Cool. And that's not the right one. Get the link from the top, Google Chrome. And we do this, and then we do this, and then boom. That is the official Twitter for Road to Greatness. Covers it covers bracket links and top 8 graphics for both North America and Europe bracket, so check that out if you would like to. And Donald's saying that the Yoshin Master, it be me. How you doing, Donald? Welcome to the stream. And then I'm not sure if 20 is still vibing in chat, but they were here first with they were here literally when I hit start stream 30 seconds into it or less. So we welcome 20XX properly on the mic. So thank you for supporting as usual, and everybody who's chilling now. Thank you. And the new follower, Angel C Warrior, before I even started the stream, got that follow. And there was another follow as well I want to address. Thank you. Thank you, dude. I think that's Jess or Jessie. TH0981. Appreciate the follow. And then Donald saying 20XX is the GOAT. Couldn't have said it better myself. But to get things started here, to preface this, we do have some unfortunate news. There was some unfortunate things that happened with connection for one of the players in grands. So we will unfortunately not have a grand final to showcase. It really sucks, but we will still be watching winners final, losers semis, and losers final. We still have 3 exciting sets to showcase to you guys. So hopefully you're still looking forward to seeing that much at least. I'm looking forward to seeing them, and I'm sure that that Aberration is looking forward to seeing them just as well.
Definitely.
So as you see, names right there, PEC and Elucid are our first ones to showcase for winners final, best of 5. Before we go into it, do you think you have anything you might want to, or any sort of pre-analysis that you can think of?
Well, so it'll be kind of interesting to watch since, as we saw last week, Elucid kind of came forward that he was going to be really pushing Blastoise. And we saw a couple of showcases from Blastoise the last couple of days as well. Mikuki, the Japanese player known for his Chandelure play, came out and swept. I think he actually made a couple of sweeps just with his lead Blastoise. I know he swept. He made a sweep on stream. I can't remember if it was against Euclase or another player. He did make a sweep against Icebergy as from Australia. So we've just over in the recent days, we've seen Blastoise really kind of get pushed, and I've heard a little bit of talk about just Blastoise's kind of, as he's moving into the meta, we're seeing like people players are kind of recognizing, oh, he kind of does better. He kind of does better against certain matchups than we thought he does. So it'll be kind of interesting to see just how Elucid, after last week, will make adjustments to maybe do a little better against TEC, since we got to see some interesting interactions between these two players as well.
Okay, but yeah, because we definitely did see them go toe to toe last time, because wasn't Grand's Elucid and TEC when Devlin was helping us with showcasing it, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, I believe they did play in Grands last week. We had Elucid Elucid was playing the Blastoise against TEC last weekend. He actually ran the whole bracket with just Blastoise.
Solo Blastoise, love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So Blues is here in chat, just kind of being a jokester after Donald's. Welcome to the stream, Blues, by the way, because they first came in with the message talking about Amaranth, and you know, just being Amaranth apparently. Not gonna go into that one again. That was last week's little chat we had. I was streaming Sonic Adventure, I think. No, yesterday. That was yesterday. No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. But we're gonna start this off. That is enough of our introduction. We thank Aberration for his thoughts as we go into it. Let us check out what we have for the first game. It was Arceus. You're right, Blues. That's the wrong thing. Let's take a.
Oh, Elucid's actually pulling out the Darkrai for this one.
Yeah. Let's take that off though. It would have been fine if it didn't have the other GG thing on there, but eh. And here we go. I gotta switch names around and golden. Okay. So starting this off right away here, we got some footsies here in field phase, just trying to find an opening. TC is gonna find the first mark with staples and gonna be coming in with the homing attack. Has Elucid on the wall here. All right, bullet punch from afar, trying to get a low profile hit. Gonna land the bullet punch into a conversion. Push him towards the wall. Yep, keeping it going with the X's or... Oh, a good grab from Elucid there, putting them back into dual phase. The Rayquaza is ready for TEC whenever they're feeling the need to try to catch some sort of landing. Oh, that grab misses. Hello?
Yeah, he was still in block stun from the swords.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Scizor, when Scizor goes into the initial dash cancel from swords, he's pretty plus on block, so he kind of has to wait before he goes for the grab.
Oh, I see. But not waiting for that one, though. Elucid going to get that grab and just establish a little more of a lead in HP. But TEC says that doesn't matter one bit. Just getting all this damage. 3 seconds. Oh, Jesus Christ. A second left. Wait. Oh, I was so close. Elucid almost brought that back in the last second of that round. But TEC barely taking it to time.
Damn.
Yeah, I was so close. Elucid gonna get the first hit from afar with these projectiles. But TEC trying to get themselves on the board with projectiles as well. Alright. Jeez, projectile for projectile. This is a battle from a distance. Ooh, good tech from Elucid. Gonna stuff out that grab and gonna get a lot of damage out of it. Still in field phase. Okay, there we go. That's the shift. And in the nightmare mode we go. But bullet punches coming from TEC. Gonna get a lot of damage, actually. We're gonna get out of that nightmare mode, back into good coloration.
Yeah, TEC's really been establishing kind of his early dominance in the mid range with the bullet punch confirmed.
Oh yeah, so Elucid just has to be very careful about where they find themselves at in positioning, because TEC has displayed mastery before of just where they need to play projectiles to bait things and how they can set their own stuff up from afar. And now they are primed with burst. Will they even need to go into burst attack is the question, though. Rayquaza, is that gonna catch the wake up option? Good block from Elucid. Gonna phase through, but gonna get caught by the bullet punch. What a good read from TEC. That is gonna be the first game in TEC's favor.
That's unfortunate. He wanted to kind of get the Shadow Clone set up, but TEC was kind of ready with the spacing, ready to punish him on the recovery with the bullet punch. Elucid's also had a bit of a hard time early on. He hasn't won very many field phases. I don't think we haven't seen him gone into nightmare mode yet, have we? With Darkrai? I don't think he did.
I thought we did a couple. I thought we did a couple times.
Oh, did he? Okay, no, he did it. I stand corrected. I remember he did it at least once.
Yeah.
But for the most part, TEC's been able to win a lot of these field phases, and when Darkrai's not in nightmare mode, his mid-range options, his neutral options are much more underwhelming. So it's been kind of hard for Elucid early on to kind of really get things going. So we'll see if Elucid sticks with the Darkrai here, or if he decides to pull the Blastoise back out.
We will see for sure. Get this back off here, and let's adventure into our second game.
That's kind of the tricky thing too about playing Darkrai, is that if you're not in the nightmare mode in dual phase, you have to be much more careful about. It's a lot trickier to really like get into a position as well where you want to like shift back into the nightmare phase, obviously, because his tools in field are much more kind of give him a lot more ways to kind of land that, whereas in duel it's much more limited.
I see. All right, so as we're gonna test those projectile properties in this first duel phase, we're seeing a battle of them right now. Start things off. So far, Elucid has gotten some damage, but TEC is keeping a good distance. Oh, but that's gonna be a trap and gonna start this damage for Elucid. Nightmare mode enabled. Bullet punch not gonna meet its mark there.
That was good patience by Elucid, waiting for the waiting to activate the shadow clone when he saw an opening to do so on TEC's jump.
And then a smart play from TEC in response with the Rayquaza, and then right back again with Elucid. We're getting this conversion. We're gonna drop the last part of it. It looks like. Ooh, a stun once again, and gonna catch a good bit of hits here. Not gonna catch the wall splat though. Dragonite gonna pressure this wall. All right, it's good on TC to stay in that shield, but only hanging on by 1 HP. You have to be so careful how they get back in this. Using those CDCs really well to just stay out of harm's way. But that grab is going to be coming in and taking the round for Elucid.
Yeah, Elucid's kind of getting more of a feel of things now. He's relying a lot more on the shadow clones in duel phase to create, to get some chances to get into the nightmare mode when he isn't able to do so from field. But it looks like he is gonna get that back X conversion to land into nightmare mode here for the field.
Oh, that's gonna be damage for TEC. They're doing their best to just outlast burst, but they're up close burst attack. That is point blank range. You are getting all of that hit. I can't say I've seen this burst attack a lot. I don't think we've seen Elucid go for it a lot. But that's a lot of damage, though. I will say that. But TEC,
yeah, it's kind of hard to throw that out raw because if it gets blocked, it's pretty punishable usually.
That's why we don't see it as often then. Well, we got the pleasure of seeing Darkrai's burst attack in all its glory. It might be the only time you see it the whole stream, chat. I don't know. That's going to be a hard knockdown right there for that low profile hit. But TEC's going to get right back up into burst mode. Dragonite going to CDC through Dragonite. TEC, just a master of positioning. Just counterattack, just keeping Elucid on this wall here. Gonna try to get the grab, but a good tech from Elucid, not stopping TEC. Gonna go with the homing attack anyway. Another grab. The pressure is insane. That is the round.
That was so dirty. TEC went for the tick grab out of staples into the command grab, but there were a few staples left over. So Elucid, when he tried to tech the grab with the homing attack, he got caught by the residual staples and then got punished for trying to do that.
That was
perfect setup play from TEC.
That was so smart. It looked like TEC canceled a grab there for a second just now. I could be mistaken.
Yeah, he did. He went for the command grab into the backdash, but Elucid here is gonna get a conversion into nightmare mode.
Oh, and TEC is going into burst. They're saying it's now or never. If they want to keep this lead, they're trying to do what they need to do at all costs. A second grab should do it. Jesus, enhanced bug bite. That is a game right there. 2-0 at the moment.
No fear at all.
No fear. That is TEC's game.
Yeah, Scizor, when he gets bug bite, he has like a guaranteed like unscaled certain amount of damage. I want to say it's like 50. I want to say like he's guaranteed at least 50 damage unscaled by rage or burst. It probably has even more so when he's in burst himself. So since it does do more damage when he's in burst, so that was a good. That was some good condition. He probably had conditioned Elucid to kind of like not want to tech it as much, but it looked like Elucid probably just wasn't ready for it. That's one of the. Or he might have been waiting for a cancel there, because that's kind of the tricky thing about that command grab is that you can see like it's reactable. The startup's like 20 plus frames, but if you can cancel out of it with the backdash, you might be able to bait out certain options. But either way, props to TEC in that for clutching out that first set.
Oh yes, very much props TEC.
Oh wait, actually, I'm sorry. There's one more match.
Yeah,
we still gotta play.
Yeah, at least one more match. It's not quite it. Wasn't that the first? No, that was the second game. Razy kind of came in there late. That was game number 2, my dog. But I gotta fix the scuffness here of this real fast, because when I started making the words bigger, the best of 5 kind of got overlapped with this. So let me just move this slightly over there as we get out of the void for a second. Let's move that up there, and let's move this kind of underneath. You know, we are professionals, I promise. Not really. We're really not. We just here for the community. We're here. But there we go. That looks better. All right. Let's keep it going.
I also noticed Elucid went and picked the. Did Elucid have Dragonite that first match? I don't remember him picking Dragonite for the first match they played.
I can't remember what they had for the first game, because I'm not even sure if they even had a chance to use their support in game 1. Because I know TEC had the Rayquaza like ever since the first game, but I could not tell you what support Elucid had. Because I don't think they had a chance to even use it. And
well, Dragonite does have a long charge time. You have to wait a good 40 seconds before you can pop the Dragonite call.
Yeah, there's the Dragonite, and the other Pokemon in that set is what? Also, this projectile exchange. Victini sounds right. But my goodness, all the projectiles that were being exchanged. Like, it was just a game of, I don't know if you would say racquetball, tennis. All of those sports were being played in field phase, but TEC is holding the lead right now as far as this HP, which is blistering beginning of this third game. Oh, jeez, Elucid almost ate some damage right there, but getting that shootout in time. Oh, that tech. Oh, that's a good tech from TEC. Just so much damage. Just canceling that grab once again. Oh, but that's a good counter. Not sure what the move is, but Nightmare Mode is here. That's going to be a start of a conversion for Elucid. Dragonite's going to try to punish the get up option there. Oh, that's a good chunk of damage, but we're going to miss the follow-up, unfortunately. That could have been a good turnover moment for Elucid, but TEC is going to be in synergy. And they have the lead. They don't have to approach. Elucid's here, keeping that shield up. They have to try to make a difference right here in the last 13 seconds. It is. Oh, teleport in place? What? The grab? Is that it? Hoo-hoo!
So the Dark Rise counter I actually forgot the name of last week is actually Nasty Plot, and that last move you saw there was Dark Rise was Dark Rise Nightmare, which he can only use in Nightmare mode.
Oh,
pretty sure it's Nightmare. I believe it's his AA in Nightmare mode.
Okay, interesting.
It does have like some invincibility on it, so he can like kind of throw it out as a reversal option at times when he's like.
To punish.
Yeah.
Kind of a trade, but definitely more in TEC's favor to bring it back to the action here. But because in the background, TEC was just kind of controlling and being Elucid Nightmare in this round so far. There's so much damage and enhancements right now. Oh, countering all of that good from Elucid did not fall just yet. Oh, but the Bullet Punch is going to come in and take out that second round. We have a final round. The staples immediately, but this is trying to close the distance, not wanting to get that pressure established. But TEC gonna say, you can try to dash in as much as you want. I'm gonna catch on to it, and they did. The Dragonite support coming out. TEC's been able to get around it relatively well, so maybe Elucid wants to change up that game plan if we have another game going forward. But the way the TECs are playing right now, I'm not even sure if it's gonna be another game at this point. But the burst. Almost, yep, it's gone now. The TEC did a good job of just keeping the pressure on Elucid to make sure that they would not get a chance to use their burst attack. because as it was said before, it's not the safest move to just throw out. So Elucid has to be very careful about what they do in burst. Probably safer to just use their enhancements in terms of damage and movement. But TEC gonna get some movement of their own here. Oh my god! The way he dashed back down to get those bullet punches into the enhanced bug bite. The movement pristine from TEC right now. The staples, and that's gonna be a catch from the claw. That's the game and the set.
That's unfortunate. TEC was being very mindful. TEC was being very mindful of the shadow clones that Elucid was setting up, and was ready when Elucid was really kind of moving around the spacing of the shadow clone hitboxes, so that whenever Elucid tried to activate it, he went for the whiff punish with the bullet punch there towards the end. So TEC made a solid adjustment to what Elucid was trying to do to get back into nightmare mode in duel phase, and that's how we saw TEC kind of pull that one out there.
Yeah, and like I was saying in that last moment, just that bit of movement that we got from TEC, because he was in the air and he did a sort of air dash back down that kind of would resemble some sort of air down in Smash, and was able to get the bullet punch out to keep a conversion going.
Yeah, Scizor can like kind of like juggle during whenever he's doing those JY juggles in the air, he can cancel into jump X and like bounce. He's some of the Scizor players kind of referred to it like basketball combos, because he's literally just dribbling his opponent up and down. And when he gets to a certain point, he can use the jump X to land back down, like you saw there.
Yeah.
And then like the last 2Y juggle into the bug bite.
Wow. Okay.
That's what you saw there towards the end. So it looks really cool.
Scizor looked really cool.
Scizor's got a lot of sick looking combos because of that.
Oh yeah, and then who better to use them than we've had our own Scizor specialist in TEC showing us what he's able to do with the character. But TEC is going to be that is who is sitting in the top part of the bracket. So we will visit the underground and we will check out losers semis, which would be no, not quite Elucid. That would be further down. What losers semis is next, and that consists of Jayypii and Kolarbear.
Yep.
And Jayypii is new to top 4. Yes.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Jayypii's had a time or two where he's come close to top 4, but this is actually his first time that we'll be covering one of his matches here on stream.
Yeah, you love to see it.
And last I had seen of Jayypii, Jayypii plays Gardevoir. The last time he came up on the graphic, did we have any? Did they show any character? Did the graphic show any character besides Gardevoir, or do you remember that far back?
No, you're right. It was Gardevoir, because I went back into the archive history, and I saw that the most recent placement that they have in top 8 is number 48, where they got tied for 5th with Kaiser, and a win ratio of 3-2 among 13 entrants. And it was in fact the Gardevoir was the sole representation that they used. So if so a high chance that we'll see some Gardevoir gameplay in top 4, which is very, very cool.
Have we had a Gardevoir in top 4 in recent memory?
In top 4, I cannot say for certain. I don't think so.
I don't remember it based on the archives either.
I see Jolts when they used only Gardevoir number 44, but I think that was still a point where I wasn't covering top 4 yet. I was still doing top 3 for stream.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So he had just missed stream at that moment. So Jolts would have been on stream for that, and it would have been them making the debut for Gardevoir, but it was at a point where I wasn't covering that much just yet. Now that we are.
Oh, apparently 87 Linux apparently also had the Gardevoir at one point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, doing a
Oh,
bunch of other characters. So yeah, the difference being multi usage of a character, or is it just solo usage would be the difference.
okay.
So so
So we likely will be seeing Gardevoir versus Lucario here.
more than likely, yeah. So
Yeah, this tends to be a matchup where Lucario does pretty well because because Gardevoir usually struggles against characters that can really contest her in the mid range. So, and Lucario, between like his 2Y, his CA, and his 2Y, 2X, CA, all those kinds of options do pretty well against Gardevoir, because since that's where he tends to want to be a lot of the times is right in that mid range where Gardevoir's tools are not the best.
yeah, that sounds right from what I've seen Gardevoir before. Really good mid-range and long-distance fighter, but up close they don't have much to do as far as just get off me tools. So if we see Kolarbear capitalize on that, that is for us to find out. So let's get it rolling. Game 1 of losers semis. And it is in fact the Gardevoir pick from Jayypii. This is going to be an interesting string of games we're going to see. Well, we're going to see how Jayypii does handle the close distance or close range fighting where Lucario excels as you described.
In the mid range.
Mid range too, yeah. But winning the first phase shift, Jayypii getting that projectile to land, but bone rushes from Kolarbear are gonna drop the second one, but attack and a force palm is gonna keep them at bay, and a grab reading that counter critical hit damage that is gonna be great for Kolarbear. The homing attack, but a JX from Jayypii. Oh, missing, but okay, gonna pick up a combo after the fact. Ooh, good little string of damage right there. Pushing Kolarbear towards the wall. Kept that counter charge, and Kolarbear respected it. They weren't trying to move at all, but gonna get stuffed out. I want to say the light screen.
That's Gardevoir's release Y. I want
Really?
to say release Y or release A. I forget the actual name of the move, but I know it's her charge move.
Okay.
Her charge style.
Yeah, light screen is something else. It's like no, light screen is what breaks and has to stop projectiles.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
But burst is gonna be popped from both players here. Jayypii's is almost finished, but Kolarbear still has about a halfway of their gauge to use. Just being patient, waiting for theirs to be used, trying to get an anti-air, using the burst attack at the last moment. But Kolarbear gonna stay blocked and gonna grab right after theirs exhaust as well. Charging no Aura Sphere, but not gonna get the damage there. Oh, good catch from Jayypii. Getting that projectile to land as soon as Kolarbear was landing. Gonna have the Espeon support and a good projectile to catch the wake up from Kolarbear. Jayypii starting off strong here with this round.
Yeah, Jayypii's been using a good bit of Gardevoir's like aerial mobility as well, and it's kind of messed with the timing of like Kolarbear kind of wanting to contest Jayypii in on landing.
Yeah, mix-up is definitely key in a matchup where you're at a disadvantage up close. So Jayypii is doing very well to just keep Kolarbear at bay, just like that, with that very good projectile. Right, and the Umbreon is ready for this round for support. Not even giving Kolar a chance to breathe so far. That's what you want to do. Good clash from both players there. All right, there. That was a frame trap there with that time projectile. But Kolarbear was able to rush in, and they are in their burst. Good Umbreon usage there to push Kolar back, but the Bone Rush sending them way up. But Jayypii feeling the pressure, they're going to burst themselves. Kolar was trying to get that burst attack to land. Oh my good catch! That was really good on Jayypii's part. Seeing that Kolarbear pressed a button and responding in kind with a punish.
Yeah, Jayypii, once again, using a lot of that aerial mobility to kind of mess with the timing of the landing. Kolar's kind of having a hard time like especially like at times where JP is floating directly above Kohler. Kohler can't land like the 8Y, like Lucario's 8Y goes like at a specific angle, so he can't, like whenever JP gets directly above him, it's kind of a dead zone for like Lucario's anti-airs. So, but we did see a time or two where Kohler tried to get that anti-air conversion off the 8Y, but because JP's so high, he had Kohler had to adjust his timing uh, for the anti-air juggle, but they didn't quite get the timing down. So JP was really able to take advantage of um, just kind of that awkward positioning for Kohler to maneuver around, and just the times where where JP was able to create space and catch him a couple times with some zoning, especially like the 5A. The 5A is really good. The 5A kind of has a bit of a limited range from Gardevoir, but it it has a high amount of priority against other projectiles, so it's really good like at a specific range. So we just saw that between the aerial mobility and the careful like spacing, JP was able to kind of take advantage of those two things in that first game. We'll see if Kohler makes any adjustments here in the second match.
That we will see for sure. Go into it, we see that both players definitely going to stick with their respective characters. The Pokemon, what is the Pokemon? I had a word and it escaped my mind. Loyalist. There we go.
Pokemon.
Wait, what was yours?
Sorry, no, I thought you said something else.
I was just thinking of a word of like loyalty to your Pokemon or something of that nature. But we're going into our game 2 of losers semis between Jayypii and Kolarbear. Jayypii a game above in the set. Ooh, good counter attack to start things off. Oh my god, so much pressure. And well, so much capitalization off of that one counter to get that damage build up. And projectiles, I'm not sure if that's a side Y infield or like an aerial Y, but
That's Gardevoir's jump Y.
Jump Y, thank you. Oh, make good use of her hover there, because not gonna land immediately after the one aerial. That was smart from Jayypii to use that bit of mix-up and mobility. But Kolarbear was able to get some damage regardless, catching on to that fact, and going to use their command counter. But going to go into burst. Jayypii feeling the heat in this corner. Oh, that's a good 8x from Kolarbear, and a forward 6Y, excuse me. Man counter gonna push them back and KO for the first round. Alright, projectiles abound. Here we go. That was a good JY from Kolar, but that's gonna be a good projectile from Jayypii to start us off in our first duel phase here. Oh, looking for the anti-air, but Kolar didn't give it to them. They stayed on the ground. Ooh, that was definitely a good frame trap there from Jayypii. Just using the projectiles from up close to push them back into the one that was waiting for Kolarbear. Good CADC, and you're gonna get the JY and gonna get the 6Y combo real quick. Oh, but Jayypii is cooking with a good punish into a homing attack. Burst is here for Kolarbear. They're trying to act here to try to get themselves on the board. But Jayypii making it hard for Kolar to get themselves in and going to use a burst of their own. Alright, Kolar trying to have Lucario really wake up here. And an enhanced grab. That's going to leave them with 1 HP. Jayypii has to be so careful here. Oh! Found it in the air. Barely reaching with that bone rush. Such good patience and really good resilience from Kolar to take that round. That round and game, excuse me. Yo, Ploof the Doof, it has been quite some time. Welcome to the stream. Just came in at a good point. We are at a would this be an equalizer? Yes. Riggs was like, Ploof wanna hop in? Is he? I'm not sure if he's saying hop in as in like the
I don't know.
the VC for commentary or what. I've never heard Ploof have any interest in commentary whatsoever. Because I saw him extending out the invitation to 20, but 20 has a stream of their own to attend to. But what a game too, for Kolarbear to even it up here for our losers semi set. What did you see?
Yeah, Kolarbear was playing it a little more patient before trying to challenge Jayypii in the air, and as a result, he was able to get some more juggles off of like Bone Rush midair. Especially like Lucario's a very fundamentally based character, so he gets like a lot of his highest like damage off of like punishes, especially like anti-airs. Lucario, off of Lucario's 8Y juggles, he can easily get like well over 200 damage, like 230 to like 260, depending on whether or not you get wall carry. It's pretty crazy. So you really do have to be careful like jumping against Lucario, especially since his 8Y is so fast and has like so little recovery on it. So it's really hard to like jump. It can be hard to like jump in on him between the 8Y and the E speed as well.
Yeah, two very good anti-air options that Lucario has for sure. So that was very good on Kolar's part for the adjustments needed to get themselves back into the set, because we have ourselves a game 3 for our best of 3 set here. And Ploof has commentated before, but I'm trying to think, did they help me commentate RTG, or was it something for Smash at some point? Because the commentator role just kind of, I don't have a commentator role set for just one game or the other. It's just kind of a commentator role, and they have it, and anybody who has the commentator role can just kind of hop in for the role of commentator for events that are hosted from the server. I can't quite remember. I'm not gonna lie to you, my memory already isn't the greatest thing in the world. So Ploof's saying that they did commentate before a few times. It evades me of what they commentated, but I mean, I have no reason to not believe that. And Ploof said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna vibe for now. Maybe next RTG. You know what, Ploof? Yeah, let's keep in contact, and we'll see if you're wanting to help us commentate next week. Maybe we can do like another what's the word, rotation, if Aberration will be here and if he's down for that.
I'd be fine with that.
Hey, you heard it here first. Maybe we'll even play in the RTG again. I've been trying to practice again. Let's go, Ploof. Let's go. I'd love to see you back in the running. Speaking of running,
I might actually hop in myself next weekend.
Ooh, we got Aberration gonna hop on too. Let's go, baby. World's inspiring everybody. You love to see it. And we love to see sets go down to the last game possible. Game 3 of losers semifinals. Let's get it. It is going to be exciting to see who pulls forward. Will Kolarbear advance forward, or will Jayypii pull the upset and advance the losers final? And Ploof saying hope that they match with you. But here we go. Ooh, good JY catch from Kolarbear, starting us off with damage, but Jayypii not that far behind. The battle of distance right now between these two characters. Ooh, what a clash! No one getting the upper hand quite yet. That's a good block on that counter. So far, a very long field phase between these two, just down to the wire of just sensing when things are coming out and then answering in kind. But Jayypii gonna get the grab and finally gonna shift this into duel. The Mimikyu coming out from Kolarbear. Ooh, wait, the extreme speed kind of locked them in place with Mimikyu for a bit. Not sure how that happened.
Mimikyu kind of caught the juggle off of E speed and just like kind of held them in place in the air.
I'm curious if that was intentional or not. Because if it is, that was a very big brain move from Kolarbear.
Yeah, Kolar saw that Jayypii was trying to hover above the Mimikyu, so Jayypii went and tried to snipe them with the E-speed to make sure they get at least a knockdown.
Ah, very smart. And more that is more debuffs with Mimikyu coming out in this round already. But both players having their synergy, they are ready to let it loose whenever they feel the need to. Kolar getting this extra bit of damage here, and Jayypii feeling the pressure right now to go into their burst. Or rather, not so much the pressure, but wanting to keep their lead established because they have that first round. And that's going to be a burst attack. Comboing into it, that's a good chunk of damage, I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, that's actually more than I thought it would be. Kolarbear.
Yeah, Gardevoir first does a good bit of damage.
So I see. Kolarbear is also in burst now. I'm curious to see what they will make the most of from theirs, but that's a good counter. Waiting for them to come back down to earth after floating. Gonna catch that. Hovering. Good JX from Jayypii. Such a smart punish. Gonna push them back into the middle of this field. Oh my god, these projectiles. Kolarbear had no choice but to jump over what was coming at him. Mimikyu, will they get grabbed beforehand? The Umbreon coming out? What's happening? The battle of support characters. Alright, good shield there. Oh, it was good to be in. Oh, good to not jump and give that to them. Oh, it phased out before it could even reach them. Unfortunate. CDC gonna catch them as the dash in. Jayypii really good on covering so many options at once. Catching the feet with those projectiles. Very, very good stuff. That is gonna take the set. We have an upset, ladies and gentlemen.
And now I believe we'll actually be seeing, Jayypii going up against Elucid in losers finals, right?
Indeed. There you go, Gardevoir all happy in the background. You love to see it. Alright, so let's add that there. Score to Jayypii. Very well earned. Very well fought between the both of them, though. Cannot take anything from either player. That was a very, very close set. So you love to see it. Oh, no, you don't. Actually, that was the end of that anyway. Nothing to see here. Nothing is spoiled.
I don't think I saw anything.
Yeah, you didn't see. No one saw anything. The way that it was positioned, that was the very end of that set anyway. So it is perfectly fine. Alright, so we move forward into losers final. Go ahead and change that. And we reset this and switch some things around here. Elucid. And best of 5. The Angel Sea Warrior in chat still. They are just letting it be known that they see what is going down. Alright, so this is going to be what is presumably Darkrai Gardevoir. How do you feel about this matchup?
Well, could be Gardevoir Darkrai, could be Gardevoir Blastoise. It's kind of hard to say. These are all three of these characters are actually the three I know the least about.
Oh boy!
So kind of doing especially Gardevoir being kind of an intricate, having a very intricate move set as much as she does, and we don't see her like at least back when I was paying more attention to the competitive play, we didn't see as much of her in like high level play. Actually, we've never had like a ton of like Gardevoir reps like in any one given time, but it really depends just on which pick Elucid is going to go with here. I assume Elucid is probably going to pick whoever they probably feel more comfortable with in the matchup. I mean, I can think of a couple ways, like maybe like a Blastoise would be able to play around certain tools. But it just really depends. We'll kind of see based on whichever Elucid decides to go with in this set here in this first match.
That we will. So let's get the action coming at you. And just as a reminder, this is unfortunately the last set that we have, because there was unfortunately connection issues for for one of the players that were in grand final. So it's unfortunate that we don't have a set beyond this point, but this is in fact going to be our spiritual grand final here, as we see a different kind of set happen, where Jayypii is among us for the top 4, going against one of the best of them that we've seen. Elucid really has become one of the like one of the new like consistent favorites here, showcasing both Blastoise and Darkrai. So you love to see people see someone at high level that that can, you know, show that they're, you know, they're here with not one but 2 different characters.
For sure.
And then with not having a grand, so not having like a winner from that, there is no interview as well. So that is also unfortunate. But hopefully things will be better for next week. But we will still probably have a little bit of a just a little small talk about where we see Pokken going from here after the set, and that will be a stream. So buckle in. This is going to be a very exciting losers final. I'm gonna put a poll for this actually, so you guys can predict who you think will win the losers final. Let's see here. Will win losers final, Elucid or Jayypii. Make the submission period be about 5 minutes. I think that's fair. All right, start prediction. Use dumb channel points now. I'll even put it in the text. Use your channel points to vote for who you think will win this set.
I actually have that same title on JP's Pokken profile, the Strength Through Adversity one.
Nice. Yeah, I like looking through what the different tags say. Some of them are kind of funny.
Oh yeah, some of them like the little phrases are pretty neat too.
Yeah.
Or one of the I think one of my favorite ones is I'll play when I feel like it, or I'll play better tomorrow.
That's a mood, honestly. All right, but the mood here is gonna be turned up into the excitement for losers final. This is the first game. Elucid and Jayypii, they are fighting for the title of spiritual winner of this week's RTG. Ooh, that's a good projectile coming in from Jayypii. Close range projectile at that. But Elucid fighting from a distance themselves, because Darkrai is very well equipped to do so. Oh my god, just the back and forth from these two is very, very good. But the Farfetch'd keeping Jayypii occupied for a bit, but not gonna stop them whatsoever. That was a punish on Elucid. Right, the Espeon. Oh man. What was that move from Darkrai?
That was Dark Pulse. That was the fully charged version, actually. When Darkrai has all 4 of those little pips, the Dark Pulse, his 5A, goes pretty far and counter pierces.
Oh, so, wow. The more you know.
Way to get into Nightmare mode, which he's going to do right here.
Yeah, we see the Nightmare mode here, but that's not instilling any fear into Jayypii, as they're having just a lot of momentum here with this pressure on the wall. The Voltorb coming out. Ooh, they got pierced, but Electrode, still was able to go in and get some damage for them. Going to get stuck out of the grab there. We saw the counter being a little bit faster, and another counter into a conversion here, pushing them afar. Alright, that timed projectile. Had to be really careful with their positioning. Elucid getting stuffed from a low profile zipping projectile from Jayypii. We are on our final round of this first game here. Oh man, and that's a good win in field phase for Elucid. Getting the homing attack. The Electrode is ready and Burst is ready for both players. Electrode going forth, having the guard up right on time. That shield looking kind of red there for Jayypii. They have to be careful how long they stay in it, but it looks refreshed once again. Oh my god, the projectile pressure from Jayypii is very, very dominating. Elucid having a little bit of trouble just getting in, but gonna have their own projectiles fight the battle as well. Dark Pulse not gonna be able to do something in that moment. Jayypii good on keeping that guard up. The dashes around, trying to get some sort of footing here. But Jayypii gonna land it in field phase. Duel is once again upon us. The Electrode can't really hover above that one. Gonna take that explosive damage. And gonna go into Burst in the final 20 seconds of this game. Elucid is gonna jump right over that projectile. Jayypii was going for the feet. Umbreon. That was so smart from Elucid. Even though it didn't do damage, it still pulled them towards them while they were in shield, and they were conditioned to stay in shield for that second, getting them that grab and the game.
Yeah, Elucid was having a little bit of trouble there at the beginning, kind of getting some of Darkrai's like traps set up, especially with like the shadow clones. We saw a fair bit of the shadow clone setups in duel phase, where Elucid was looking for some opportunities to try to get into nightmare mode, but Jayypii was consistently kind of staying out of the range where Elucid would be able to land the activations from the shadow clones. So Elucid kind of made the shift to taking a bit more of an approach, using Darkrai's like aerial maneuverability with the JR to like navigate around the projectiles and like look for some chances to use like Electrode to punish some of the projectiles that Jayypii was throwing out. And we saw Elucid get quite a bit of mileage out of like some of those exchanges. So that was a nice adjustment on Elucid's part mid-match.
Yeah, very much so. You love to see the adaptation happen, and Elucid is one that is able to adapt very quickly, as we see that they adapted in the same game through the different rounds. So I'm curious to see how Jayypii will adapt back in this next game. And sticking with these characters, once again, we have Loyalist to their Pokemon. Snow Gift is our battle stage for this one. Game number 2 is coming. Darkrai comes from the shadows. Here we go. And already, Jayypii gonna win that first field phase with a quick projectile. Or a small trade, but Jayypii winning in that ultimately. Just keeping a small rhythm there for a bit, as Elucid just kind of kept walking up and shielding as Jayypii applied pressure. But a couple different traps have been set up that I would be able to see Elucid going for. But Jayypii able to evade all of them. But Elucid coming in with this very good string, gonna transport it into nightmare mode. Ooh, good counter from Jayypii. It seemed like Elucid was trying to cross it up, but the counter was able to turn around and be able to counter anyway.
Yeah, against a lot of characters, their counters only will go on like one side. So when Darkrai does like the side switch in Nightmare mode, a lot of times he can set up a punish on that counter. But because Gardevoir is like one of the few characters whose counter can hit on both sides, it didn't quite work out for Elucid there.
Oh, but this is working for Elucid though. Oh my God, what a conversion! Getting them into the air and trapping them to get back to the ground for a grab. What a play.
Yeah, Darkrai's Dream Eater command grab that he has in Nightmare mode has one of the highest base damage command grabs in the game. I believe it does around 180. base damage and has like a guaranteed rage proof level of damage.
God.
Similar to Zors. Oh, but Elucid really trapping Jayypii here in the corner with the JY traps.
Oh, is that? Oh my God, he's nasty with it. Dog. Perfect. I just happened to notice that Jayypii hadn't landed on the ground for quite some time. But that was Elucid showing why they're one of the best of them here in Road to Greatness as of late. Getting a perfect in that second round. What a power play. Good Lord.
Yeah, when Darkrai gets the JY trap set up in the corner and he's in Nightmare mode, it puts you in a really awkward position because now, like, between like the 2x, between like the enhanced 2x and having the JY trap right above you, you're kind of like stuck. You have to move forward. You have no choice but to move forward, but you have to be really careful not to get clipped by the 2x. So that was a really tough kind of situation for Jayypii to be put in, and that's one of the things that makes Darkrai really powerful when he does get in his into Nightmare mode. That those lockdown tools that he can set up with the traps become all the more threatening when he has when combined with all of his enhanced normals.
Oh, so that's why Nightmare mode is just so dangerous. You just have to respect it where you can.
Yeah, that's one of the things that makes Nightmare mode such a threat. Is just that you have to be really careful. It can put you in a lot of tough situations with some setups like we saw there at the end.
Oh, as we saw. And then as far as the chat was saying a couple of things, Riggs said that Elucid ain't low, stop the cap. I'm not quite sure what moment that you're responding to, because one of us may have said something about something low. Maybe I said something. I feel like I was saying something maybe like low stance or something, but I'm not sure. Or if I don't think
I don't think you said anything. I wouldn't worry about it.
Is it loyal?
No.
Oh, ain't loyal. Stop the cap. That's what you meant, saying that he's being loyal to Darkrai for this one. That's what I mean. Both of them being loyalists to their Pokemon in their sets tonight. That's what I meant from that. That's what Riggs was referring to. But Angel was echoing our thoughts about how that last round ended, because that was a sweep if I ever saw it. But let's see if game 3 will look any different, because Jayypii has to get on the board here, or if not, this is a Elucid set to take. Here we go. From what I gather from what you were describing, Jayypii just has to be very careful in terms of not getting caught by certain things and getting clipped. Like even the smallest projectile from Darkrai can lead to a lot of damage we saw, and especially if you're in Nightmare mode.
Yeah, particularly in Nightmare mode. I was just referring to that one situation where he was trapped in the corner. But yeah, but Elucid has been getting more of these Nightmare mode. Like right here, Elucid getting the back X into the Nightmare mode. Elucid's been pretty good about navigating around a lot of Jayypii's field phase projectiles, because a lot of them don't have tracking, at least the linear ones. So that's one of the things that's put Elucid here over Jayypii in this set.
Oh my god, the Dark Pulse into the grab? That's it.
Yep.
Crazy. Jayypii was doing a good job for a bit while they were Nightmare mode and dual phase. They were using their own projectiles to stuff out Darkrai's. They were winning exchanges for a bit. So they were winning neutral in situations, but Elucid just kept the pressure up and just amped it up. and there was not much JP could do about it. But JP will be getting a counter from that corner and pushing Elucid into this middle of the duel phase. Flipping with the projectile from the air. I want to say that is their JA or JX. No, JA, I'm pretty sure. Alright, getting out of that grabs range really fast with a dash. With a projectile from Darkrai, pulling him closer. Electrode, gonna be some good damage. This is looking like Elucid's round here. If JP doesn't change something right here, right now, they have their synergy. They better pop it now. They know what's good for them. The shift into the field phase. That's a catch. The Dark Pulse. Oh, it's so close. It got scaled. Nightmare mode is here. Gotta be super careful, as we've said. Nightmare mode is Darkrai's playpen. Oh, it's a counter. Oh, that's the grab. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Elucid takes the set win over Jayypii. Fantastic stuff.
As I was mentioning earlier, Elucid, one of the things that kind of set him apart from like Kolar in that last set was that Elucid seemed to have like a better sense of like Gardevoir's options in field, and with Darkrai, winning field is going to be basically, and getting into nightmare mode is going to be basically one of your win conditions. So that was kind of what made the difference for one of the things that made the difference for Elucid in this set, combined with the fact that Elucid was playing a bit more proactively with the spacing. Elucid was getting into a bit more of an effective range, particularly like when he didn't have nightmare mode, and he was looking for opportunities to contest some of Jayypii's options in the mid range, especially when he had like the electrode up. He was in the range where he'd be able to react to like 5A in neutral with electrode and like blow Jayypii up for doing so, and Jayypii just wasn't able to wasn't quite sure how to deal with that. So that was kind of what made those two things, I would say, are what made the difference in this set here for Elucid.
Yeah, Elucid just cranked it up to the 11 in terms of offensive pressure. They saw various openings. They used the electrode very well, like you said. As far as starts throwing it out there, just kind of seeing that a move was thrown out and capitalizing on it beautifully with hits after it, leading into conversions more often than not. And it was just the exchanges of projectiles that Darkrai and Gardevoir were doing. Like I was saying, Jayypii definitely was putting up a very good fight in terms of neutral with putting projectiles in Darkrai's response, but in terms of being able to just outlast and maneuver around it, Elucid definitely was able to do it better this time around. And Nightmare Mode was definitely a good aid in that ordeal. So once again, we say great job to Elucid for taking this set, losers final. And like we had said, and yes, that was very crazy, Angel. That was a very, very good set between these two. The score does not reflect how well Jayypii did, honestly, because they definitely played very, very well in terms of answering back to Elucid. More so in the first game, first and a half of the second game, because after that, that's where Elucid really was just coming alive and just taking complete rounds, largely untouched. But yeah, Jayypii definitely put up a very good fight here. So congrats to both players on getting this far, first of all, and just giving us a good show. And Dev Team says, I am late, but I am here. Welcome all the same. Welcome the Dev Team. Thank you, Heartbox, for the raid. Really appreciate it. Like I was saying to chat earlier, it is super unfortunate, but grand finals will not be a thing this time around. Not I'm able to say that who the two would have been in grands. It would have been between TEC and Elucid, but sadly, there was a connection issue from one of them in grands, and they were able to correct the issue after the 3 chances or so I think Rig said that they gave them. So you hate to see it, but that do be how the rules, them the breaks. You gotta keep things moving along, even though, well, actually, that was grands. There's nothing else really to move along at that point. But there are time limits and number allotments where I would assume how things would work as far as Pokken. I don't run Pokken things as far as lag tests or connection issues go. I'm not really sure how those kinds of things would be looked at, but through the conditions that Riggs put in place, unfortunately, yeah, well, I'll just say it. Unfortunately, TEC wasn't able to be able to complete their time here in the set, so it's kind of a bittersweet ending. It's very unfortunate, but Elucid showing us how dominant they were here. So give a round to Elucid anyway for just being so dominant in these last couple sets here.
Yeah, it was a good performance overall by Lucid in both of those sets we saw.
Oh yes, oh yes. But I appreciate y'all coming into the stream anyway, dev team. And Heartbox and whoever else was a part of said raid. Donald's, where you're listening to what I was saying, there is no grands, man. They couldn't play it. It's saddening, but that is how it went down this time around. But what we will do is I will put up this overlay again, and I'll change this text to say let's see. I mean, you can't. I mean, do I still put congrats to Elucid, even though there was no grant? I don't know what to do here with this text.
Just thanks for watching. Hope you join us next week.
There you go. That's one. Man. Spiritual win for Elucid. Hold on. Road to Greatness, number 54. Conclude. There we go. Spiritual win for Elucid. I think that's fair. And post-match thoughts. I mean, yeah, you. Abrasion made the best suggestions. It says just say thanks for watching. I wanted to have say something else besides that, but you know. I'll just put.
Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more next week.
Yeah, we'll say that. It is a spiritual win-ish, I guess. Great job to Elucid. We don't take that from them. Great job to them. Great job to everybody who made top 4. Shout out to Jayypii for getting top 4 this time around. Because they definitely put up a very great fight with that Gardevoir. Hoping to see them attend more. There we go.
Yeah, you do like to see kind of the different character representation every now and then. There's a lot of... The game's pretty balanced overall, so you can do well with a large majority of the roster.
Yeah, you really can. And it's something that we like we're saying, the different representation for Pokemon, where some of the strongest ones in the game, we've seen Libre hit a top 3 and top 4 a couple of times thanks to players like Neo Sinanju and oh lord, memory don't fade on me now. Neo Sinanju, I'm sure there's another very notable one that is on the tip of my tongue, but Neo is the main one that I see on these graphics. Slice was mainly like end of the road. Let's see. Going back way in time here. Going back to as far as 30. I just don't see anyone else using Libre. Junior Jam, that's way back. That's December last year. Good lord.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Libre players out there, or there really hasn't been a lot of Libre just over the life of the game.
Oh, Marks. I'm thinking about Marks, maybe. Because they use like Libre and Aegis Slash. They've mainly only shown up in the end of the road.
play Libre. I've known them more to play Aegis Slash.
Yeah, Aegis Slash is definitely what they use more. If I were to go to bring up the end of the road graphics as well, just to give that extra visual aid. Yeah, marks with Aegis Slash and Libre.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's what happened. End of the road number 5, they got third. Excuse me, they got third with using Libre, Decidueye, and Aegis Slash. So definitely one of our one of the players that uses a multitude of characters.
Mm-hmm.
But besides Libre as one of the strongest ones, ironically, we have yet to see, or no, am I wrong? As far as Braixen being in any of these streams to be on top 3 or top 4. I can't really recall seeing Braixen up here.
We haven't had any Braixen come out here. Obviously, we have a couple of names out there that are really good with Braixen, but it's just we haven't happened to see the other players kind of show up. But obviously, Braixen, of course, being one of the strongest characters in the game, like top 2.
Top what? What number did you say?
Universally, Braixen's like considered top 2, depending on who you ask. Most people either consider like Braixen or Aegis Slash to be like the best character in the game, unless of course apparently if you're a Japanese player, which had there was a tier list, like a composite tier list apparently posted of like all the Japanese players, and it's very different from what
sounds about right.
Do what?
I said sounds about right as far as Japanese representation being different.
Yeah, I mean yeah, across like a lot of fighting games, the Japanese sometimes have different like ideas on like the overall tier list, but this one was like really different. Let me see if I can find it. Like it's actually wild.
Oh wow.
Let's see here. I it's in my likes here okay, here it is. Okay. Well, okay, so Braixen's still in top 3 in this one, but the top 3 in S tier had Libre, Braixen, and Empoleon. I kid you not. Empoleon in top 3.
I'm inclined to ask how. And Dev was saying there are a good amount of Libre, but a decent amount are non-AA. So yeah, that's what I figured.
Japanese have a few like Libre players, and I think there might be like one Libre player, at least one Libre player in EU. But yeah, sorry. When I was talking about the Libre players, I was more focused on like NA EU side, not so much the Japanese side. I know the Japanese have at least a couple of really strong Libre players over there.
Oh yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, I'll send you that tier list in the Discord. It's quite a it's quite a trip.
I was about to ask you, was it a picture? Because if you could send it in the Discord, I can like open it in the browser and I can show the good people here real fast.
Let's see here. Here we go. There it is.
All right. What? Okay, yeah, we gotta look at we gotta look at this chat. This is kind of wild here. Okay, so let's go to our.
Bottom two look right though. Crow gonna get Blastoise.
Oh, we're in the wrong browser source. We're got a little bit of streamception here. Let's make Chrome actually be Chrome, and bring this up. So this is the tier list that
the Japanese players put together at Worlds. Euclid put this out on Twitter.
My goodness. Let's see. Let's get some extra text up here to showcase this. So Worlds 2022, I guess I'll put Japanese tier list.
Yes.
I wonder if they like had some sort of video or a stream where someone probably described this in detail, because I would love to hear their thoughts.
I don't know of it. This is just what I saw on Twitter that Euclid posted.
So in S tier, we have Libre, Braixen, and Empoleon, like you said. Libre and Braixen is kind of are universal.
Oh yeah,
It seems.
Libre Braixen are like top 3 here as well, or at least with Libre, it's like universally almost like top 5,
I'm just
if
stuck
not
on him.
top.
Yeah, but I'm just stuck on Empoleon though. I'm really curious with how they have Empoleon in S tier, above
Empoleon
Pokemon like.
actually was
Mhm.
Empoleon was actually stupid good in the arcades. Like
Oh,
before the transfer to DX, Empoleon had some really strong like tools. Like Steel Wing used to shield break. Like with the amount
oh,
of
oh God.
so yeah, yeah. Empoleon used to have some really strong like shield break setups. He also used to get like I think he used to also combo off of like uncharged. He used to get like more reward off of like Ice Beam, without like the charged version. It was like I think the uncharged version used to like put him in a stun, and he could like follow up off of it.
Oh, that is scary. What?
Yeah, yeah. It was Empoleon was cracked like in the arcade version.
So thankfully they so I can't believe I'm even saying that. Thankfully they nerfed him for the console version.
Darkrai was also top 3 in the arcade version too. You know the mirror he puts out from back X.
I'm not quite sure.
When he charges up his back X in field phase, and you see like that mirror that appears,
Hmm?
um, he can he used to get that from and when he does the and when he can't and after he sets up the mirror and he does nasty plot, you see like those pincers, like the bear traps floating out, like the shadowy, like slow moving, like floating bear trap. I think is the best way I can describe it.
Oh,
And he can like combo off of that.
hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I
Yeah,
was
he
looking
used
at
to be.
stuff on the. I'm just looking at stuff in OBS at the same time, but you said it.
Yeah, he used to be able to set that up with just neutral Y. He didn't have to like. He didn't have a back X in the arcade version. He used to just set up mirrors with neutral Y like instantaneously, and then he can just send out like multiple bear traps like really quickly.
Oh,
And that ended up, yeah, he used to have like true unblockable setups into like Dark Void in field phase, especially if he had like the bear traps and like certain supports. He used to get that like free, it was like absolutely broken. So they had to basically rework that in the console version.
oh, well, thank God then. Thank God they fixed that. Jesus, that sounds
But
like
yeah,
a nightmare to deal with. All the
yeah, I
pun
mean, there's
intended.
a whole lot I can go on about, like, or at least from what I remember of, like, some of the pre-console versions of some of these characters. But yeah, it's kind of interesting just to see how some of these characters have come along since their initial iterations in the game.
Very much so. We see Lucario's put uh well C
Like,
tier. I guess we would see probably that would be considered maybe average.
yeah, he's like mid-tier on this tier list, which is quite usually in the NA scene. He's usually widely considered like top, pretty consistently considered like top 10, if not like top 7 or 8.
Yeah, very fundamental friendly. So just on paper, just a very solid character overall. He's got a toolkit that can kind of handle most situations.
Yeah, he's got a really well-rounded kit, and he's got like one of the best burst modes in the game.
Yeah, that because he gets so many enhancement follow-ups for things like his extreme speed follow-up and uh his his aura sphere literally becoming a Kamehameha wave if it's fully charged. So
Oh, his 6X is also like really abusable too. It's got like the giant hitbox, and you can like hit confirm it into like burst attack if they try to counterattack.
oh
A
really?
counterattack on reaction, yeah, and you can like counter pierce it into the burst attack. It's really strong.
Yo, yo they yo they sleep on Lucario over there, low key.
I don't know. I'm sure we might find out someday what kind of the rationale was behind some of these picks.
Yeah.
Either either we know something they don't, or they know something we don't. Be interesting to find out.
Most likely the latter because they're just kind of cracked over there in general in fighting games. So they probably know something that we don't. That's
that or they're trolling.
wouldn't that be something?
According to Yukos, it's 100% serious though.
But yeah, once again, they might know something that we just don't. I'm also curious if if the positionings in each tier are ordered or randomized, because if they're because
I don't know.
because if they're saying Machamp is better than Lucario, we gotta fight. Whoever made this, we gotta fight.
Machamp can has some pretty strong, like, he does really well in certain matchups, but against like all the zoners, he has a particularly, especially like Chandelure Brexton, he just gets bodied.
Exactly, because he can't really approach. His one projectile goes at -5 miles per hour. So how does he go in from afar? He just kind of has to have, like, the player behind him just has to have really, really good patience and just pristine movement to just dash around things.
Oh, Darkrai too. Forgot about that. He also really struggles against Darkrai.
Of course. But I feel like you were about to say something else when I cut you off.
No. I don't think I was about to say anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then D tier is something else too, because I would have thought that Weavile was pretty good, but they're like next, like almost like down to the last tier in the game.
It really, it's kind of hard to say with Weavile because depending on who you ask, they're either Weavile's either great or Weavile's pretty meh. Weavile has been kind of one of those characters that has always been kind of contentious, like about how actually good they are. Because on the one hand, Weavile does have some like pretty good tools, like especially with like having the 100cc burst and like his aerial mobility. But on the other hand, Weavile also has like limited range on all of his normals, or at least on most of them before he got the 6Y in one of the later patches. But generally, Weavile's been a character that's always been kind of hard to play at like a high level, and there's not a whole lot of them that, or at least the high level Weavile players wouldn't often show up to like the at least for a while wouldn't be at like the offline majors. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to get like a good feel for the character's overall strength when you have like that limited representation at high level play.
Yeah, you can't really make a good judgment when you don't really see them enough. Yeah, to have that exposure to go off of, yeah, is crucial for any character in a game, in a fighting game. But that definitely makes sense. Maybe if more of them pop up, like if things really get labbed and things really start getting figured out and start causing some upsets, whether it be over in Japan or over here in the West, then maybe the positioning of Weavile will start to change around a little bit.
Right.
The only other one I'm looking at, I mean, I wouldn't have known where to put Krogunk at anyway, but just seeing them at the literal last spot is funny to me.
Krogunk's been widely considered like bottom tier, like for the longest time. Because Krogunk can live or die off of like RNG and things like that.
I was thinking about RNG. You're right, because some of his moves like debuff himself.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Nah. They are. Bandai Namco literally put. You know what? They channeled the same energy that they put Hero into Smash with putting Krogunk into Pokken. That is quite.
Well, I mean, like a little character, so he'd be something more like, so he'd be kind of almost more like Pichu, or at least the melee version of Pichu when Pichu does like a lot of like damage to themselves. Yeah. Before Pichu was made really good.
Yeah. Well, wait. You said Pichu, like Ultimate Pichu, is
Like
really good.
Pichu and Melee, like Pichu and Melee has like Pichu has like limited hurt, kind of like very limited like reach in their hitboxes, and would like do a lot of damage to themselves with when using like their specials and whatnot.
Mhm.
So similarly, like to Krogunk's neutral is pretty whack. It has to rely a lot on like getting chip damage with the projectiles, which can vary greatly based on the RNG. And certain momentum swings can be based off of whether or not they can get buffs or they get debuffed instead. So, yeah.
Dang, unfortunate, but them's the breaks when you're kind of a troll character in the first place.
Right. That's the whole point of
So
Krogunk, to be a troll.
to be a troll,
I mean,
fun.
everything about the character is just screams being a troll.
I still cannot believe they've ascended from being a support and still can be a support. It's the funniest thing when someone runs Krogunk and they run Krogunk with
Krogunk
Krogunk.
support, Krogunk support, Krogunk support, Krogunk character select, and whimsical cheer skill is the is the meta for like maximum for like the maximum lulls.
What does the whimsical cheer skill do?
Whimsical cheer skill can give you like very random like you can get
no.
like, no you can get anything from no support and no synergy to like max synergy and support it, and there's like a whole bunch of like in between you can get, but it's very random.
That is perfect.
Yep.
I hate it but love it at the same time. Oh man.
Yeah, is there anything else you just wanted to add before I guess we close the stream and, not turn this into a podcast about tier list?
Right. That's it's actually kind of funny you said podcast because that's what Riggs has in the works with Jayypii, wanting to have us three starting a podcast release soon for Pokken.
Really?
I do believe it's going to be more. It's going to be like a live event thing, where it will be from Chepe's channel. The best days that it would be, so like all of us would be able to kind of function around that schedule. It would be either Thursdays or Sundays, and they were wanting to grab me for tomorrow, but I got a thing to be at 3, and I wanted to make sure that I have all my prep and to be there as early as 2:30 or maybe even earlier than that. So even though they wanted to start around like the noonish time, the what's the word, what's the phrase, what can go wrong will go wrong in terms of time going by, then I feel like I would get caught up and then I wouldn't hear the end of it.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna play it safe just this time. So maybe Thursday is the better play for next week. So keep your eyes peeled for a possible podcast on the horizons on Chepe's Twitch channel. I think his Twitch name is, and I quote, Jayypii Stupid.
Yeah, Chepe stupid with the two
Two
O's, I believe, the double O.
Let me see if it'll pop up if I were to do this. Twitch.tv. Twitch.tv/Jayypii Stupid. I think that works. If we were to click it here real fast, does that take me anywhere? It opened up Twitch on my browser, and it does. Yep, that is the right name. So yeah, Jayypii Stupid is the is the Twitch name. So keep your eyes open for podcasts happening over there. And Jayypii just streams Pokken, like just besides the European Road to Greatness, they just do Pokken streams, and they're also streaming, it looks like, Monster Hunter Rise. So if any of that appeals to you, go ahead and hit him up with a follow. I haven't interacted with them a lot in terms of interaction in chat or VC alike, but very cool dude. I would definitely say got the chill vibes. So go ahead and check out the content they have, and again, just stick around for things to come on that front. But with that said, anything you feel like you may want to add to this before we end off?
Yeah, I think you pretty much ended it off. What we had some good matches to watch today. Hopefully, we'll get to see some more next week.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we get to see. Well, for one, I dearly hope we have a grand finals next week because it just feels so empty without it. It really does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it isn't quite the same.
Yeah, not quite the same. You love the interviews. We get used to having the interviews too.
Yep.
But it's all right though. It's okay. It's always next week, just like Riggs said. So we will, if nothing else happens, we will. I'll be seeing you guys next week. So this is going to be the end of the stream here. Appreciate you guys checking this one out. We still had some very good games to watch in spite of events that happened. Glad you guys were able to hang out, whether it was live with us or if you're watching the VOD back. Appreciate the attendance regardless. Thank you once again to Aberration for helping us on the microphone with the commentary.
No problem.
Yes. And that is that's all I have to say for this one. So we're gonna go ahead and just put this on for there. My name is Darsheen, and this has been Yoshi96, and I'm signing out for now, but definitely not forever. From twitch.tv/Yoshi96. If you want to see more, please follow to be notified the minute I go live next. Check out my socials on my card here or on my profile. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. You can like, follow, subscribe, and join those respectively. Discord is the place to be to join tournaments such as these for Road to Greatness and for Pokemon Tournament, or if you want to join events that I host for Smash Ultimate, which would be my Yoshi monthly series, which I hadn't made a proper Start GG page, but I think I'll go ahead and just say that would be next week. Actually, it would be. I usually have it on the usually have it on the Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I'll try to do it for the Saturday and Sunday, so that'll be me double dipping in Smash and Pokemon next week. But I feel like where the start of the bracket would be, I can do both. I feel like I should be able to. And I'll let Riggs know for sure ahead of time if I feel like I can't, but I think I can do it because the stream wouldn't be until like 9 anyway. Just my brackets usually are about 5:30 or 6 for doubles for Ultimate. So we will see how that goes. But Saturday doubles and then Sunday singles. So that may or may not affect the Arceus stream for that following week. We'll just have to see how that goes as well. But Arceus, if we do anything, because how the schedule was for the week gone, we did Battle League for this week for Strikers, but that's our usual Arceus, one of our usual Arceus days. So that will be coming back Wednesday this week. If we use this schedule as a template to look forward to the next week, Monday, well, first of all, it's tomorrow for Sunday stream, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Depends on when I can get back situated at home after the event that I'm attending to tomorrow. So if we're able to get back in, I'm in the mood for it. Legends Arceus tomorrow. It would be a slightly shorter stream, but I would still want to try to hit the 2.5-3 hour mark. I'm trying to make 4 and 5 hour the benchmark for the Arceus streams, but if I were to get home and not situated until maybe like 7 or 8, I wouldn't want to go into midnight or later on a night or morning I have to go to work the next day. So, you know, gotta be an adult. Gotta be an adult. So if we do stream, it'd be a little shorter. Probably what we used to do in terms of length, 2.5 to 3 hours for Arceus. That would be the plan for that if we do. And then the rest of the week for next week would be a guesstimated Monday stream. We would maybe move Mario Kart to Monday, and then we would do Strikers on Tuesday. Maybe, because I think the new season for Battle League starts Monday or Tuesday, and excited to get that one going because we got a new member. I'm slowly learning things for how to play the game better. So there's that. Wednesday would be Arceus for sure, because if tomorrow's Arceus stream doesn't happen, we got Wednesday's stream for Arceus. Thursday would be some more Sonic Adventure DX. We're starting Big the Cat stories. That should be fun. Friday would be another run in Fire Hazard, the Fire Within Throne weekly bracket that I've been playing in. And then, of course, would be the next iteration of Road to Greatness, which would be number 55. That and Ultimate Doubles for Yoshi Monthly. So that is the tentative schedule for next week, going off of this one. And then Sunday would be Yoshi Monthly number 30. Oh God, what number is it? I want to say 31 for singles. Double Saturday and then singles would be for Sunday at 6 p.m. and 4 p.m. respectively. Might even push it back to 5:30 p.m. Just to try to give myself a little bit more wiggle room to be ready for Pokken as well. But that is it. With all that said, I think I am done here. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night or day, depending on where you are. Stay safe, please, in these times. God bless. Keep on being awesome. And we're gonna find a stream to raid. We'll see. Yep, my man's actually is alive with the Dragon Ball Fighters action. So we're gonna go to the 20XX and see him grinding a fighting game, a different fighting game. So I'll go ahead and get that set up for you guys to take an adventure. Rage channel, and get that set up. And while that's loading in, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, stream ended, Donalds. It is indeed that time. It just be like that. That's how it be. But this is the end. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Take care. Send 20XX my best, your best. Make sure that you are nice because he is a homie. And I will remember to end stream this time. See you guys next time.